Welcome to the Mediocre to Magnificent podcast. I'm your co-host, Braxton Matson, and your host, Lee A. Williams, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in because you are what makes this pure magnificence. You are the ripple effect of magnificence, and we are going to bring you a message that will give you insight, inspire you, motivate you, and challenge you to not only grow in your magnificence, but let you know that you are magnificent in everything you do. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Lee, man,
Yes, sir.
you're looking a little extra crisp on this thing, man.
Look at Chris. What's happening right now?
I don't know, man. There's something about like electronic stuff.
Figuring out your own equipment,
There's so many levels to it, man.
Well,
There's so many levels.
I'm glad we're stepping a level. Hopefully, we keep it this way.
I know, right?
That's
yes.
the kicker.
That's the only thing. That's the only because this is the Nikon D750, so really it's not really
Yeah.
like a vlogging type camera.
Yeah, right.
It's more photos. And so Candace, it's her camera, so
Yeah.
she's done photos with it. Completely different setup
Completely different setup.
compared to your Mark EOS.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely
That's the
different.
whole thing, man.
Like technology has taken a step forward really fast. But yeah, man. But we're talking about apple picking, man.
You said that's what we're talking about?
No, we're not talking about that. But we were talking about it before.
Yeah, we went apple picking.
Yeah.
Fall colors.
Yes,
It's
the
a
leaves
thing.
are turning, man.
Yeah, so we like the fall color. We've done it now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were like, yeah, we'll do it again. And then it just so happened to tie into this like Pink Ladies was the time
Yeah.
for that. Like those are the ones that were able to pick the main ones. And we like Pink Ladies. So we're like, okay, yeah,
Okay.
we'll go make a trip of it.
I don't even know if I've had a pink lady, to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
What does it taste like?
Sweet and crispy.
Like a Honey Crisp in a way?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But it's got a sweetness to it. So we like, because, we don't, like we say the mushy apples. It's like, it's mushy. And the skin's hard. It's like,
You're right.
the skin's hard and it's mushy. Like, hey, what are we doing? But,
Yeah.
that's just, you have to use those for something different. But, so we go see the colors. There's a state park close by doing the apple picking. So we go to the park, hike.
Yeah,
get in
man.
some sights.
So you had like a whole weekend thing.
Oh,
with
yeah,
that. That's awesome, man.
And then, you know how we always, and this ain't about that, but we always talk about some of the animal sightings. And so we're playing, we do a couple hikes, seeing the colors, taking it in, waterfalls. I mean, just the full deal. Like, you're like, man, play mini golf. We have the passport for our, like, state park passport. So
Yeah,
every park
where
we
you
go
get in
to,
with it, yeah.
get a stand, write what we like best about the park. And then, of course, get a magnet for the fridge. That's a thing for our family.
We do that.
Yeah, so it's,
You've got us into that.
Well, that's
Because
good.
I was like, every time I was like telling Cass, we got to get a magnet.
You got to get a magnet, man.
We got to get a magnet.
It's nice to look like when
We got to get a magnet.
be like, oh man, I remember that trip and stuff that took.
We've
us.
got it
So
all on the fridge, like all the
Yeah.
magnets on the fridge. So it's, yeah.
It's nice, man. So then it's like the timing. We're driving to the apple picking place, and all of a sudden, it's like, my wife is like, "Is that a sign?" And I was like, "Where? That right there?" Like, no, that's not no sign. That's a bear. So I immediately stopped. But the reason why she said that like that is because
Was it like standing still, kind of like frozen?
Yeah, like frozen, like trying to say like, you don't see me. You don't see me. You don't
Oh
see me.
man.
And it's like, no, that's a bear. So I'm like, I creep up a little bit, get my
Yeah.
phone out, and then I go to roll the window down.
Shut up,
and
man.
hand, because it's on her side.
No.
And she's like, "What are you doing? Roll the window down. It's a bear." I'm like, "It'll be fine." And then it's like, it growled.
Well, thank goodness you didn't have the apples in the car. He might have just...
Right. And then it climbed, like, we got the perfect picture with him in the freeze, like.
That's hilarious.
You don't see me. The bears have so much personality. But then it got behind some brush, and I took another picture, and it was like, we're talking about a bear. So it was like...
This thing's like 200, 300 plus pound bear.
Yeah, it is like little brush.
Hiding behind some leaves.
Yeah, it's like, still trying to be like, you don't see me, you don't see me. And so we got a couple other pictures. It's like, come on, man.
Wow.
It's just so funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. That's awesome, though, that you see that. Because I don't think I've ever seen... We have them, but I've never really truly, like, seen one.
Yeah, so the only reason why I said, like, if you know... So about the time that we got to the state park, the time that we took the hike around the lake, and then I missed a turn on the trail, and it wasn't a part of the lake loop that we did hike to go see the waterfall. It was another portion of it, but we would have to have left that trail to go to that one. But I wanted to do it in all one swoop. But we ended up doing the whole lake and then come back to do the waterfall trail itself.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that to say, so then by the time you go play the mini golf, and then by the time you go to the hike up the mountain to do the lookouts, and there's a couple pull-offs where you're able to see we got another lookout, and you pull off.
The timing
so then
of
when
it,
you
man.
say, okay, now we're leaving.
Yeah.
And the time that we're leaving to go, and the route, there's 2 routes you could take for the GPS in the mountains to get to the apple place.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we'll do this route. And that's the route that the time the bear's crossing the road.
Because they don't just hang around the road.
No,
they don't do
it's
that.
crossing.
Yeah.
And it's mid-cross, we're driving up.
Yeah.
And then it does the freeze pose, like, so still that it's like, what is that off of the distance? It's a bear.
Yeah, it's a bear.
So, and then I'm pulling up, and I was like, I told her, she's like, I said, at least I didn't get out. Because, when we were in the
that's
Smoky
when you
Mountains,
first told me.
out.
I was like, man, Lee's going to get out the car.
I'm getting out the car. It's like, I was at least didn't get out the car. I just rolled the window, my wife's window down. Oh, God.
Man, Candace would have flipped if I would have done that.
Rolled her window down?
She would have said no. She would have shut that down quick. Well, that's cool, man. That's cool that you had that experience with the apple picking. We're gonna have to do that coming up soon.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
Because we got a 5K coming up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's got one for her work.
Y'all ready?
So I'm ready as I ever be. I mean, we're gonna like walk it, but like our goal is like under an hour. Yeah. Which is a good pace. That's a good pace. That's easy.
Yeah.
So
you might surprise yourself, man. Trot a little bit.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, that pace is nice.
You might have to kick it to a trot. Like, we gotta step it up a little bit.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. But yeah. So yeah, another you were talking about baseball, man.
Oh yeah, just saying. Well, because I heard about the best record in the baseball.
Yeah, the teams with
highest records. They're not even in the World Series. They're not even in the World Series.
Like one of them that had the worst record out of all of them.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like that goes to show you how things can change.
Is it so? Is the reason why I brought it up is it just the postseason, or because some people were acting like the way they set it up was bad and not the best for the teams, or is it just no? If you're the best, you need to be the best whenever.
Well, people have that debate about how if you got the best record or you win your division, whatever it is for the year, you get a bye. Like you get the time off, the wild card plays.
Yeah.
I just don't know about that. Like when I get a break, like you've played your whole season.
That slows on me.
You played your whole season pretty much nonstop.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take a
a longer leave than usual, probably, to wait. And it's like
that cools you off, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing about like momentum. You got to keep the momentum going.
You've been iced.
Yeah,
Like we said, man,
that's
you
the
icing
thing.
me,
I mean,
man?
you look at like how the Phillies, like they turned it up when they, and then they got to the final part for the division, and it's like,
Man, I just connected it, man. Like when we go bowling or we go top golfing,
Yeah.
or whatever, like if I just go up there and get to hit,
yeah,
compared to like, oh, it's 2 or 3 people, go sit down.
it's different,
It's
isn't
like,
it different?
Or if I go bowling, like how me and my wife do the alternating lanes,
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, you and your buddies going, it's like 4 people, so it's like, okay,
cool
it's
down,
like,
man.
It's a different. So
Cool down.
That's the thing. It's like, so that's like, no, I don't need a break. Let's keep playing.
Yeah, I mean, me and Gavin would top golf,
Yeah.
and so it's just me and Gavin. We ain't got like 6 people.
Yeah, it's a different deal.
So it's like he'll hit 2, I'll hit 2, and we're warmed up. Like it's
and we're able.
consistent.
You're able to stay
like I hit pretty freaking good this time. I was like,
okay.
but it's like because you're not having to
You're not
back
iced
and forth with it.
Yeah, they iced him, man.
Yeah,
Best record in baseball, MVP, at home.
I know, man.
At home in the World Series. That hurts, man. Really.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
interesting. It's very interesting. But yeah,
So
I just like how they take it though. They just like, it sucks, but
we gotta. This is how it's set up. We gotta make
you
the
gotta get back
adjustments.
after it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't. You gotta just roll with the punches, I guess. But yeah, so this episode, I think it was our sermon at church that really spurred this because it really interested me. On
You did some info sponging?
I did. I might have done too much. I'm still doing info sponging, to be honest with
You
you.
might have did too much.
But like dealing with, and this is it's more like United States, America, like the consumerism definition, like how consumerism is so involved in our everyday life.
Okay, wow.
Like when you take when I looked at a definition, or basically what consumerism is the theory that individuals who consume goods and services in large quantities will be better off. Kind of like
They'll be better off.
would they be better off?
Oh, would they be better off?
Would they be better off?
My mind goes to no.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But
Immediately.
our whole, so looking into it, you had the industrial age.
We're going back.
That kicked up like late 1800s,
Yeah.
early 1900s. You had World War I. Where it really kicked off consumerism was, I think, after World War II. And that's where things started to get to a point where, you had the baby boom and things like that.
Yeah.
And then they really ramped up consumerism. So radio was out 1920s.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about radio, like everybody would talk, advertisements, things like that.
Yeah.
When the 1950s hit and the television came out, it was done. Like and what was so interesting to me was the advertising part of it. Like if you go back, like just YouTube or whatever, 1950s advertisements.
Do you know what the main things they were pushing, like over the radio than when the TV, or you didn't
No,
go that far?
but that's a good one to look into.
Yeah.
But like they're like home goods, the industrial or 1920s or things like that over in Great Britain. It was like furniture and things like this.
Okay, yeah.
All the home goods stuff.
Yeah. Like if you didn't have this couch,
Yeah.
like,
And it was like they were really pushing that. And then television comes along. And there was one thing I was looking at, like, I don't know if it was like psychology of marketing or something like that.
yeah.
They took a clip of I can't remember, but it was like perfume.
Oh wow.
And the way they advertised the perfume back then was they talked about the perfume.
Yeah.
Like it was like, this perfume, this is what it is, and this is how it's,
Yeah.
yeah, and then they give you a price tag, like
Yeah.
on the television. Like
Yeah.
they give you this for whatever.
Yeah.
Fast forward, name a perfume commercial that specifically talks about the perfume.
I don't know.
Like it
I
doesn't
couldn't
go
tell you.
like you see a
car,
a car, a lady
model,
in a jungle with
You got shoes,
waterfalls.
purse, yeah.
But it doesn't talk about the product.
Yeah.
So it's like the science behind the consumerism part is like the way of like consumerism is like you have to keep buying. Like they want you to keep buying things or
keep
purchasing things or getting things.
Yeah.
Not being content in a way. Like let's go to the next level. Let's like keep going because
Keep going.
and it's like I get it. You want to consume product. You want to monetize. Economy. All that stuff happens. But it's like to a point where it gets to psychological.
So you're telling me like okay. You said the lady wear the perfume is by a waterfall.
Yes.
And my mind is like, okay, so
Now it doesn't work for everybody.
the person wants
But there is
to
science
be
behind this.
like, oh man, the waterfall I want to be. And then the way my mind goes is like, if you've ever hiked to a waterfall, like I've had to hike to a waterfall, you're gonna need the perfume by the time you get to the waterfall. So I'm just laughing.
But no,
do you
that
think
makes,
that's like a tie-in of the, psychological part of it? Like,
yeah, it's a psychological thing because you're looking at like marketing for the companies. They do their research. What's in trend? What are people? What colors? What status?
Yeah.
Like even when they first started coming out with in the UK, window shopping. So they came up with, okay, let's put the product in the window. So it's like you have this barrier. It's like, oh man, but it was more upper class.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then take Henry Ford, for example. People that, he wasn't the only one that was making cars at this time.
Yeah.
But he didn't go to the upper people that could afford. He was like, okay, what could I make for everybody to have the option? And that's where it kind of, I think, flips. Like, everybody can have it.
Everybody can
have it.
What do you think about that? That sounds dangerous.
It is dangerous.
I mean, my mind
if you're not
straight
careful,
to like,
if you're not careful, it can be dangerous.
Surely die. That's what I just
I
heard.
knew you were gonna bring that up. Yeah, for sure. No, but it makes
everybody can have it.
But another
what
thing,
are we talking about?
Like it's consumerism and not just your products you buy, but it's like our everyday life. It could be our even faith, religion, church. Like that was like the sermon that we had at church was how it makes its way into our aspects of our life.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Well, like with religion, say for example, it's almost like you want to. It's like opening up on a booklet. It's like, oh well, this doesn't work for me, or I'm just not getting it.
The church has a pamphlet.
No.
Oh, like a flyer.
Like
to
when
an
I say
event?
church, I'm saying like religion in the broad sense, not just Christianity, but like people have this choice, and then it's like, well, it doesn't fit my what I think.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it ties in what I just studied.
Yeah,
got exposed to just recently.
It's kind of
ties into the first sin. Man.
Yeah, and I think that's where consumerism.
The first sin.
We've talked about this too.
Yeah. So the first sin is saying once we got the apple, look, apple picking, messing around. My wife would be like, "It wasn't no apple."
Yeah.
But the forbidden fruit.
Forbidden fruit. Okay.
So the thought process ends up being, by doing that, was it literally the fruit, eating of the fruit? Was it the disobedience? Or was it making themselves God? to say the knowledge of good and evil. So now I'm able to say what is good or what is evil. So then when
I like
you
how you
say
put that.
the
Yeah.
consumerism,
Yeah.
it's like I'm able to say that this car is good, or this perfume is good, or this church, or this car. Everybody can have it. And it's like, but you don't need it.
Exactly. Exactly. You don't need it.
You don't need it. You're supposed to smell a certain kind of way if you hike to a waterfall.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being silly.
But yeah, so that's where I was at with consumerism, man. It's the interest, like, it's very interesting how it's almost like
I mean,
we have that.
I don't know if they saw you pick your phone up on camera.
Yeah, because I was looking at my own. But the thing
phone,
is, like, this thing.
what, like, you ever see the meme and it's like iPhone 52 or something, iPhone 39.
Yeah.
And it's like, isn't that the epitome of consumerism?
Mm-hmm.
And then, there are people, there's always a battle with the technology, Android, Apple, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just consumerism. But to be like, oh, well, like, the phone's the same.
Phones are the same.
Everything's the same. Oh, we changed the camera, or we changed the metal that it's made out of. It's like, we implemented this, or now it can do this. It's like, but if you watch the commercial, if you see the commercial, you'll be like, man, I have to go get one of those. I'm just telling you how they make you feel. Like,
That's how it is.
it's like you're less than if you don't get on board with this.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're not going to get the new phone?
Right. And the thing is like you have a choice. You do have a choice.
You have a choice, huh?
But like with consumerism, honestly, I don't know if you truly have a choice.
Well, so from that,
I don't know.
From that standpoint, like if we just keep in the phone vein, or the technology vein, there'll be a time where it's like, oh, your phone's not able to update. Oh, this operating system's no longer. Oh, if you want to be the person that's like, we're on iPhone 20 and you've got a 5. Like, I don't even know if it was called 5 then.
Like,
but
it's a
whatever.
brick right now. It's a brick.
That's a paperweight, pal. Like, if you can still call and text, the reason why you truly have a phone is to call for help if you're in an emergency. If you see a bear and your husband rolls the window down, but it's like, but then even the places in their marketing, in their bill, and in the payment plans, and like the whole like, oh, well, you can pay a monthly fee, and every time a new phone comes out, you already have been paying. So it's so many layers to
There's so many layers to it.
Everyone can have this. So then the question,
like, really, everyone can have it.
Yeah. So then the question ends up being, and I know I was being silly, but I'm tying it. What are we talking about that everyone can have?
Yeah.
And what are they trying to do with everyone having it? Now you just figured that out for yourself.
Yeah, that's a question you gotta like, man.
I'm not gonna go down that lane.
I was like, yeah, because it's like you. The way I put it was like everything that I have, it's not mine. Like, it's not mine. Like, that's how I gotta look at it.
And you can't take it with you.
It's by God's grace and what He's blessed me with that I'm able to have what I have.
And you can't take it with you.
And you're never gonna take it with you. Yeah. So honestly, if you're not going to take it with you,
if
it may
in
not be
your
that
research,
important.
what was like? I mean, this might be putting you on the spot. You might not know, and just say you don't know if you don't. What's the top 5 like in our time right now? And I think the phones are one of them. Like staying up on that is like a big consumer thing. But what would you say like the other 3 or 4 things that people are like? Would it be in like the fashion? Would it be in the cars?
No, I think it's more technology.
It's all technology.
Well, we're in the technology age.
Yeah. So keeping up with the
like some of it's not even like
is in the technology realm.
Yeah, like the technology age. Man, I mean, it's almost like it's not even a materialistic thing now. It's more like the social media side and all that. It's very weird right now.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's like,
is it like,
yeah, we have all this technology.
Is it artificial?
Well, yeah, that, I mean, I was,
they say artificial. Let me,
I looked this up. I looked this up, like ages. What did I do? Hold on. Let me see this thing.
Is it not real? And they want to tell you everyone can have it?
So I looked, and I haven't read into this fully, but I wanted to, cause I was trying to figure out, okay, what's the ages of, like, you know, we had the industrial age, and now we got information, or was it technology age?
Yeah. Intuition. So
they were like, what is the information age? And then they go, what comes next? The article I was reading had like 8 different ones.
Oh, wow.
So they said the age of artificial intelligence was 1. Age of automation and robotics is 2. Age of sustainability, which is, you know, the whole, you know, environmental stuff.
They're saying there's a lot of tricks being told right now.
4 is the age of biotechnology and genetic engineering.
Right.
Age of virtual and augmented reality. Age of quantum computing.
Right.
Age of connective and interplanetary exploration.
You think that's all? That's all happening right now.
I know, yeah. Age of ethical and philosophical reflection.
Have you ever looked at the like
it's very interesting.
A movie that was like, oh, it's gonna be 20, and it's like 2045.
It's like it's already.
It's like that happened in 2022, and it's like
right. It's like wait a minute, yeah. Like it's It's very interesting, man.
People understand. Did you see they just released some like sunglasses with cameras on it?
Oh yeah.
And you could take photos and videos and listen to music and like post on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Do people like that sounds cool.
It sounds cool.
But we've watched the movies growing up.
Yeah.
Of this.
Like
what is that for?
Yeah. Very interesting.
And I don't want to go down like, because you'd be like, oh, well, this is a conspiracy theorist podcast. Or this is Big Brother's watching. Is like, okay.
But
if everyone's walking around with a video camera on their face.
There's got to, well, and the thing is,
you can post to social media.
You can post it to the internet. Let's just say internet. It's going somewhere.
We've seen the movie. Why are we playing it? We've seen it.
I mean,
it's not going to be for your, okay. It's not going to be for you. Oh, look at me. I'm cool.
Yeah.
But then the thought process with the consumerism. So that's great. This is great. If we're able to have it on the consumer level where I could buy it for my 5-year-old son, I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah.
However your children age. Just say it. Like your child.
My 15-year-old child.
Can have this. Whatever this is. You mean to tell me NASA, CIA, FBI,
MIT, all that.
Yeah. Harvard. I mean, whatever institution you want to name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like it's amazing.
Like, if I can go down to the beta competition with robots and watch them do, and you're telling me that there's space exploration, and I have this in my hand.
Yeah.
At the consumer level, y'all better wake up.
Yeah. It's a lot.
And that's why so y'all better wake up to go back to what I said. That's what I think it's good that I tied it in as far as saying that first sin, making yourself God, letting you think what's good and what's not good.
That's that double-edged sword right there.
And it might be based on being fake. this age, the word is artificial.
Yeah. It's, yeah. And
Do you like to buy food that has artificial flavors in it?
I want to say I've had probably, but
No, I'm saying, like,
to
if
like
you
it,
intentionally go and be like, oh, yeah, I
No.
want the one that has the artificial flavor.
no, that's not, no. In my brain, I'm thinking, no, I would never think
But
artificial.
I know somebody we're probably going to get a lot of hate feedback on this one. To be like, artificial intelligence is good. I've seen Avengers.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't watch movies now, but I've seen Avengers.
Yeah.
Ultron, I've seen them.
It's,
Like, that's real, right?
oh, what was that? I can't remember the documentary. But when you can have, to me, having artificial intelligence, people create this AI. And when the people that create this AI say they don't know what it's going to do, that's a problem.
It's going to take over the world.
That's a problem to me.
The Matrix.
Like,
We're fighting the machines.
they don't, because it's a learn, like, if it can learn,
Yeah, it's like, I don't need you.
in a way, yeah.
Let
That's
me learn
you
how to
feel.
put myself in
Yeah.
vision.
And we're like, oh, but it's going to help us out. And it's like, there's always a trade-off.
There's always a trade-off.
There's always a trade-off. But yeah, consumerism. Like, I feel like it's a circle. Like, have you ever, like, a good example is Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
So you go and you play the video games. This is like the life. Pretend this is like your life.
Pretend this is my life.
You go play the video games, and you get like what tokens or whatever it is,
Yeah, you can go
virtual
buy.
tickets,
Yeah.
and then you buy what they offer you, and then you just start it all over again.
Start all over.
You go to work, get the money, buy the ticket. Like,
Yeah, it's cute.
it's just a
in the
merry-go-round,
Vicious cycle.
and it's like there's more to it than just consuming.
Get out of the cycle.
Yeah.
I'm happy
There's
that
more
I've
to it than
actually
consuming.
me and my wife have really slowed down.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
the consumer, like whatever you're thinking that the consumer stuff is,
Mm-hmm.
we've gotten out of it, man.
Yeah.
Because everybody doesn't need one.
Right.
It's pretty much the gist of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just the whole being content with what you have. And it's okay to make progress.
Yeah.
But don't let the progress be the end result of what you want to. I mean, it's like almost like the whole consumerism is like striving for perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you want to label perfection.
Yeah.
But you're never going to get there.
Yeah.
Because they're going to keep coming out with other stuff.
I mean, even if you look at like cars and stuff, why do you have a car?
I have a car to get to point A to point B when I.
So when you I saw a guy, and I promise you, man, I think he was on one of those scooters that you get downtown.
Oh yeah, like
You know
you
what I'm
rent
talking
out kind of thing.
Yeah. But I promise you, he went to like the Office Depot and got a chair, like an office chair.
Shut up.
I promise you. And he cut the base off.
Uh-huh.
And he had like a crate and built like a platform on the scooter.
Uh-huh.
And was sitting and riding in traffic.
You gotta be kidding me.
I promise you. And I wanted to laugh. Like, one part of me wanted to laugh.
Yeah.
But the other part of me was like, look at the ingenuity in that. And is he getting there faster than if he had to walk?
Yeah.
And he is. So the whole reason why I said about why do you have a car is good. But then we get into the whole, well, I want this kind.
Mm.
And it's like, but the whole purpose for you getting one is to get from
Point A to point B.
So I know I went drastic with like, okay, this cat's getting the scooter with a chair, and he's ingenuity, like putting the crate on there and working it out, duct taping it.
Yeah.
But is he getting from point A to point B? But the consumer part of it is like, oh, no. You're not successful, or you're not good, or you're not able to show up like this. You got to have
this, and this
to be able to. And it's like, what was the purpose of getting from point A to point B? Now you can be like, oh well, I need to get one of those. Their FDA's they're trying to get past approval, like the little drone that can have people.
Oh yeah, I've heard
and
about
it's
that.
going through. It's like, well, I need one of those. It's like, why? Well, I travel from city to city, and once it gets approved, I'll be able to go do my speaking engagements and get into my events. I'll be able to get from point A to point B faster. So that's always a thing too.
Yeah, there's multiple layers to that.
The convenience is the play they like to use.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna save you time. It's gonna make your life better. It's like, what did people do before? Like, I mean, you just have to understand. Like, for whatever. Like, what did people do before the iPhone 40?
Yeah. Like what? Yeah. What was it?
So,
man, it's interesting. I'm still info sponging it, man.
Yeah, you always will.
It's constant. Very interesting.
The fine line between them really bettering our lives and enhancing, or is it dumbing us down? And
you just consuming.
Just a money grab.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thank you for sharing that. I like talking about different stuff.
Oh yeah. This was fun, man. I enjoyed it.
Like to see what you end up naming this one.
I know. We got to come up with an interesting one on this one. Get it titled up and everything.
Yeah, I got ideas. But yeah, man, you feel good about it?
I feel magnificent about it.
See where you're at when you're consumerism.
Yes.
Till next time.
This is your co-host here, Braxton Matson, and Lee and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we did making it, but we couldn't do it without you. So please hit that like button, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Let us know what topic or subject that you would like us to talk about in your journey from mediocre to magnificent. But most of all, share it. Be the ripple effect of magnificence, and know that you are magnificent in everything you do. Till next time.